What do I play? If I would practice jazz from the beginning, if I would start again, like my slate is clean here, okay? Like I'm starting from the beginning. What would I do different? When I started playing jazz, like I focused on so many different random stuff, like different scales, different techniques. Like, is economy picking better or alternate picking? Like, obsessing over those stuff that don't even, like, I mean, of course, in some extent you gotta focus on technique so you can kind of play, but like, you know, I was obsessing over these stuff, and then when I was playing with people, it was never about the technique, it was never about the scale I didn't know, it was always about the essential stuff that I did not know. So that's what I want to talk about today, okay? So if I would relearn jazz from the beginning, well, what I would do is from the top, I would start practicing my ears, okay? Ears. That is the first thing we want to practice. That's the one of the first essential thing you want to practice is your ear. So imagine what is your ear? What's the function of your ear? Literally the thing that will make you hear your bandmates on the fly. It's literally that thing that will make you listen to something and be like, "Oh, I can hear what happens there." Your ear is everything. If you can hear, then you can play. That's as easy as it is. It's like, it's what the pros say, is what Peter Bernstein talks a lot about your ear. Like, if you can hear more than today than you did a week ago, then you're doing it right. So basically that's the thing. And how would I practice my ear? That is the most important thing. Usually people are like, you should practice standards. Learn 400 standards. You can learn 400 standards, but if you're not using your ears, then you're doing it wrong. You want to learn standards, yes, but the first focus is to practice your ears. That's what I would do. I would focus on my ear, and then I would learn standards as like a side effect of practicing my ear, okay? So the ear comes first. And how do I practice ears? Let's say we have 1 hour per day to practice. Or actually, let's say less than that. Let's say we have 20 minutes per day to practice because we work 9 to 5 and we don't have time. So we gotta practice the essentials, okay? If we gotta practice the essentials, but if we practice the essentials 20 minutes a day for 3 years, you're gonna get pretty damn good. What I would do is this is the first section of the practice routine. That will be like practicing my ear, okay? If I would practice my ear, what I would do is I would go on Spotify and I would literally put on a song. I would put on a tune, a random tune, and then I would just transcribe it the fastest I can. So I wouldn't like listen to it 100 times. I would literally put it on and pause. When I hear the first phrase, I just pause. So it can be, if you're like, oh, I want to learn that melody that you've heard, put it on, pause, and then literally find the notes. Or the first thing you do, actually, when you pause, listen, can you kind of visualize how it looks like on the guitar? Okay, and you've visualized. After you visualize, you look down and you try to see where are the notes. And after that, you try to find the notes. That's what you do. And then you play, you rewind, you didn't really get them, you rewind, you do it again. Didn't really get them this time either, rewind, do it again. And then you will kind of get the first note, then you get the second note, and then you do that for 10 minutes a day. And then you realize after a week, it goes a little quicker. After 2 weeks, you got it, it's better. After 3 weeks, now you can get the first phrase pretty damn quick. So notice after 3 weeks, you've already become pretty good at this. What that skill of having good ears, what that will give you is literally when people play stuff on the fly, you can transcribe them in an instant. You will start hearing the stuff. Wow, that was a good phrase, wasn't it? And I've made a full-length course. I really recommend you getting it if you want to basically level up your playing. It's going to be in a real extreme detail, and you can get it for a cheaper price. It will go up in like a week or two. I'm not sure yet, but the the course will be out in like a week, so you basically, if you want to get it, you can get it now for a cheaper price. Thank you, and hope you enjoy the rest of the video. People do, oh, that's a sharp 11. You see, you kind of get used to it from transcribing stuff, okay? So you transcribe stuff from the Spotify, you get it down, and you're like, register that in your brain, like, oh, okay, that's what that is. And then the next time it goes a little quicker. You do this if you do this every day for 10 minutes, even 5 minutes a day, if you just do that thing of listening to something and visualizing it on your guitar and try to find the notes as quick as you can, if you do that as like the exercise, then you will, that's literally the essential thing to practice. Because the side effect of that is literally if someone says, oh, can we play that tune? And you're like, I don't know that tune. That's okay, because you can like learn it pretty damn quick after a while of doing this, because people will play tunes and you will be able to hear if it's like, you will hear, oh, that's a chromatic 2/5. Your brain will register that, so you don't have to go learn every tune, because after a while you just want to like kind of listen to something and be like, oh, that's what it does. Oh, the melody does that. Your ears make you versatile as a guitar player if you have good enough ears to be able to hear what people do, be able to hear what the melody does. It's not about knowing everything like 100% certainty, but it's like kind of knowing the direction of stuff, all right? So that's what I would practice every day, and it's quite easy, right? Just pause, you grab something you want to transcribe, and then you just play and pause after the first phrase, and then you visualize it, you try to play it, and then you go from there, okay? So that's the first essential thing, that's ears. The next thing is I would just comp with a metronome. Why would I do that? Not only do you get good time from comping with a metronome, comping is the thing you would do mostly when you play jazz. Like imagine what is it you do mostly. It's not improvising. Improvising is like you might do that 10% of the time. Like the most of the time you comp. So you gotta practice that thing very much, because you're gonna do that most of the time, and people will really appreciate you if you can comp well. So comping with a metronome, not only is it good for you, but it also makes you really learn the tune. So you're not practicing with a backing track, you're practicing with a metronome. What happens when you practice with a metronome? Well, you gotta hold the form. Is that the first A or second A? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, so I gotta do it again. When you've done that enough, you will be sure. So you can hold the form and you will be comfortable with the form. And after a while, this will influence your soloing because you know the form. So you practice tunes. Just do this 10 minutes a day. Practice with a metronome. So you get the time, and also you get the tune. You get the knowledge of the tune. You get the form. Like imagine the form of the tune will be ingrained. If you would practice rhythm changes. So if you would do that 10 minutes a day, just with a metronome, just practicing. You would be able to that thing will be so beneficial. Like if I would do it again, that's what I would focus on. All right, so literally comping with a metronome, not only do you learn the tune deeply, you get good time, you get so many things, you get the essential. Because imagine the next step, which is improvising. Okay, so the last essential thing is improvising. So we got three things: ears, comping, and improvising. And improvising, you want to focus on after you know the comping part. If I would comp rhythm changes for 30 choruses, so 50 choruses. After that, I will know how to improvise. Or actually, maybe it's not just the notes will come to you, but at least playing over the song won't be as difficult because now you've internalized it so deep. So start with the comping and then go over to the improvisation. And if you want to improvise, I recommend using minor conversion. Alright, so that's the best thing I think. Over at Rhythm Traders, you can literally just use C minor formations, which I teach in my course, GuitArmin Method. You can get it in the description below. So basically, improvisation comes from knowing the form, because we improvise over forms of tunes. And to be able to know the form of the tune, you got to know how to comp. So basically, what I think you should do is to learn the song by using your ears from the start. You comp the tune, and then you improvise. So you got those three things. And if you do those things and you do them every day for 10 minutes each, you will see results. In a couple of months, you will see really, really, really good results. If you stick to that, that's the thing. You might say, but I won't get anywhere by doing that for 10 minutes a day. Whatever excuse that people come up with. The thing is, people do not hold on to these habits. That's the problem. If you do that habit for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, of course you're gonna be so good in a year. That's the thing. People say, I practice 5 hours a day. They don't hold that. People say that, and then they practice 5 hours a day for 3 days, and then they do other stuff for the rest of the week. I don't know. If you can be realistic with how much time you have and how much time you want to put in, you can get really good in 6 months if you just put in 10 minutes a day on these essential things. And imagine after you've done the essentials, what you can do after that is you can just do whatever you want, because you know you've practiced the essentials. So you can use that as like your routine to, okay, I got to do the essentials. After that, I can just sit down and do something I want to do. Like if it's practicing, if it's like transcribing whatever it is, if it's like learning that hip thing, if it's noodling, you can noodle after that, because like just make sure you practice the essentials so you get better, right? You don't want to noodle, because that will keep you in the same level as you are right now. We want to get better, so we gotta practice, and we gotta practice the right stuff. Do it every day and keep the habit. Like, make it so you won't feel good if you don't do it. And if you do that, well, then you will be fine, and you will be really good, and you're gonna thank yourself, and it's gonna be something you do every day, like a meditation almost. Like, oh wow, I gotta do my practicing because it makes me feel good. So you want to get to that point. Start practicing your ear, start practicing comping, and start improvising. I can help you with these things, which I do in my course, GuitArmin Method. You can get it in the description below. It's for a cheaper price. I recommend you getting it before the price goes up. During this month of August, it will go up. So get it while you can. It teaches how to improvise really cool lines. And how to do it over standards and backing tracks and all that. So I really recommend you getting it if you're interested in improvisation. I also talk about how to, like in section module 2, I literally go over the things that I've talked about now, how to be real efficient when practicing, and how to structure up your practice routine, how it should look like. Please comment something funny below. Do you study? Do you go to work? Like, how much time do you have per day to practice? And maybe you can connect with someone in the description. That would be really fun. My name is GuitArmin. I teach people how to improvise. I thank you for your presence, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.